This is a short demonstration showing the supervisory features including wallboards, reports and listening in on our GP platform. As you can see here, we currently have our agent in a call in progress, and what I'm going to do now as a supervisor is listen into that call, because this agent may have asked for some assistance, or I'm able to do some training and review of this agent. And what I need to do then is revert to my supervisor login. So you can see here I'm logged in as Max and Paddy, who's my agent. I'm just going to flick to my supervisor, who's currently not in a call, as you can see. And what I do is I click on the icon up there and I go into my supervisor portal. In here I can see statistics and things which are obviously relevant to supervisors. I can see this call in progress on the doctor's reception. I can see if there was calls in the queue, and so on and so forth. Additionally, down at the bottom I can see my agents, and within here I could maybe want to change people's status. So I may take Ray out of a training status and say you're actually in a team meeting, so I'm going to move you into a team meeting. But if I want to listen to Max and Paddy's call while he's on that call, you can see him there on a call. I can then click on Max and Paddy. I can see the type of call that he's then on, and then you can see the controls that are available here to me as a supervisor. I may listen in privately, which means Max and Paddy wouldn't see that I'm listening in. I can listen in announced, which then gives a banner across the agent's screen showing that your supervisor is observing the call. You can then coach, which means you speak into the agent's ear, but the patient doesn't hear that, so you might give some tips into there just to give a little bit of coaching. Once you're in one of these statuses, you're then able to barge in, which basically makes the call a conference. You can take over the call, which removes the agent, and the supervisor then handle that call. Or if you've finished reviewing that call, you can then drop out again. So that's how supervisors are able to simply and quickly listen in to active calls. Okay, so the other things that I'd like to cover off are wallboards and reports. So when I go into the menu of Brian, he's actually an administrator as well as a supervisor, so he's able to access lots of different parts of the platform. The ones we're looking at just now are the reports and wallboards, as you can see here. So when I go into the reports, I then can create new report. When I click new, and I just use these simple filters here in order to find the type of report that I want. Okay, so it might be a call data report against agents, select the agents or agent groups, select which columns I want to view in this report, over which period, and then set which filters I want to apply. This is a report against this week, against all agents. I hit preview, and I can then see the report that's displayed there. I can then download that report if I wish, and I can also save that report. My saved reports then go into this drop down here. So when I access this screen, rather than having to set the filters myself, if this is a report I know I want to run frequently, I can then use the drop downs, and I can then jump into agent performance and what other reports, as you can see in here, that I have. So if I say look at a report against my callbacks, I can then load that, and it uses the settings that I've got set. And I'm just going to now look at this report, and I can then see my callbacks and performance against my callbacks without having to set them filters in place. Similarly, if I don't want to have to come into the platform, or these are regular reports that I need to run, rather than actually run them ad hoc and download, I can use the reports configuration. I can look at my saved reports within here, and my queue report, I believe, is then set to generate automatically and is sent at a period of 2 o'clock every day to my email address. That then prevents the need to run reports ad hoc. You can then be able to set your weeklies, your monthlies, your daily reports that are automatically then sent to the people that need them. Okay, I've now quickly switched to wallboards. As you can see, I have a number of wallboards on my platform. There's no limit to the number of wallboards. You can also copy wallboards. So if you want to have a play in here and change what's actually displayed on your wallboard, you can see here I've created a draft version of my surgery reception, which then I don't affect my live wallboard. I'm going to take a look at my live wallboard though, and you can then see in here how my surgery is performing today. So this is primarily looking at a reception type service for a surgery. I currently have no calls in the queue. I still have that call active that I did the listen in on, and I can see Max and Paddy still on a call, and I can see metrics that I've chosen to view in this wallboard, be that inbound calls, how many calls I've missed, performance type metrics around wait time and talk time, my service level, how I'm performing against my answer rate, the reason people are calling, and then again here you can see then your busy hours, where you're connecting and dropping calls, and then performance across the week also. These are the widgets that I've chosen. These are all customizable. There's lots of other widgets that you can choose from. These are able to be resized, moved around to provide different wallboards. Many thanks.